Hey everyone, welcome to Dubya Demo. My name is Alex, and today I want to talk to you guys about
how to get better marks in university.
Now, a lot of this advice may seem really obvious, but I promise it's all gonna come together and blow your fucking mind.
It's gonna blow it. Number one, go to class!
Now, this sounds weird, but a lot of people tend to struggle with this, and going to class is the first thing you need to do in order to make sure you get good marks. It ensures that you hear all the important information, like questions that will be in your test, things you need to study, things that you don't.
Also, a lot of professors take an attendance and have what's called participation marks, which can make up anywhere between 10 to 20% of your grade. These are also known as free marks!
Seriously, you get these marks just by showing up and sitting down. Going to every single class can make the difference between a 6 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 in participation.
Number two, the front row!
This is pretty self-explanatory because by sitting in the front row, you can hear the professor better, which leads to you taking better notes in class. Oh, you don't take notes in class. Okay. Forget it! Also, if you're taking notes, I would suggest using a pencil and paper instead of like a laptop or something, but that's just because people tend to get distracted and go on Facebook and things. But really, it's more of just a personal preference based on how much self-control you have.
Number three, essay drafts.
A lot of my professors were willing to sit down with me and read through my entire essay draft before handing it in. This doesn't even feel honest or fair because they're essentially letting you get your essay marked twice. And if you just make the corrections that the professor gives you, then they have no choice but to give you a better mark than the one that they would have given you originally.
Sometimes professors will hand back an essay and give you a second chance because it was so awful. But what's important is that in the first situation, you're getting it marked twice because you're showing you care about your mark. Whereas in the second situation, it's more you were just lazy or you didn't do well enough on the essay. Also, by bringing your essays to your professor, you'll get better at writing and words.
This is the part where I'm gonna blow your mind.
Number four, professors are people.
I mean, it seems obvious that your professors aren't robots or anything, but it's good to recognize that they're people just like you and me, and they have emotions and feelings, likes, dislikes, and the truth is that your mark is in their hands, and it's very, very difficult for anyone to be completely unbiased about something.
Look, remember when I was talking about sitting in the front row and going to class? Well, they did a study at psychology.com where they had two groups of mock students attend a class, Group A and Group B. Group A went to every class, while Group B went to class infrequently. The real students of the class didn't know that there was an experiment going on, so then at the end of the course, they were asked to rank all of the mock students based on attractiveness. What happened was the students who were in Group A and went to every class were generally ranked as more attractive and more likable than the students who went to class infrequently in Group B. In psychology, this is known as the mere exposure effect.
It means that we develop a liking for things just because we're more familiar with them. And what it means for you is that your professor will develop a general tendency to like you more just by seeing you participate and sit in the front row every day.
You want your professor to be able to match your face to your name. And even if you're shy and you don't feel like participating in class, your professor can still get to know you if you bring your essay draft to them. Some professors understand the influence that this can have, and they'll ask that you hand in your essay with a student number or a student ID rather than your name, so that way they don't know who any of the essays were written by.
I've had professors that have done this in the past, but they were still willing to read my essay before handing it in, and I feel like that they would be able to remember my essay, especially considering so few people seem to bring in essay drafts before they're due. And they'd be able to read through and see all of the corrections that they themselves made in the first place. And I'm not saying that professors are bad people and that they give good marks to people that they like and bad marks to people that they don't like.
But they're definitely unbiased towards John Smith or Jane Doe, who sit in the back row and don't go to class most of the time. If your professor can't match your face to your name on the essay, then they're definitely going to be more unbiased towards it, which can sometimes result in a harsher mark. The thing is, you need to make a lot of little improvements in order to see a large result. So participate in class, bring your essay draft to your professor, study a week earlier than you normally would for a test, or go for bonus marks whenever your professor offers them. All of these things can lead to a huge improvement in your marks and GPA. It's the little details that all come together to make the big picture.
And it's very difficult for someone to be completely unbiased about something.
That fucking scared the shit out of me. Huh.